Hey guys, we're back at Paul's, and look, the engine is still on the stand. Beetle's still empty. What's going on?
Lots more engine right here, a lot less engine right there on the table. So it's huge progress. Today and yesterday. The right bearings came in Friday, and I was able to install the crankshaft, torque all the case halves back together. Just put this tin on here just to mock it up. See how pretty it is? I'm going to take it back off for a sec though. You can see cylinders are on, new rings, cylinders are honed, the heads are on, torqued, valves are even set. So we're all the way up to the valve covers. Hello everyone. Welcome to the cooking show. We're making a roasted crankshaft. What I'm actually doing is heating up this little brass gear, and at some point, once it gets hot enough, it should fall off. If it doesn't, we'll press it off. Almost off. It's Saturday morning. I have my Volkswagen hat on for good luck. We finally got all the proper components, the correct components. So we'll take a look at the inside of the crankshaft right now, and the crankcase, and show you what's up. So finally got the right size main bearings in here. The cam is installed. You can see there's assembly lube on all the moving, touching components. Some of this timing gear right here. So these gears are timed where when the crankshaft is at top dead center, these lobes are in the proper place. There's little dots. I don't know if you can see them. There's little dots that line up in the front right there. This gear right here drives the distributor, which is indexed. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little line right there. That's cylinder 1. And so that's indexed properly. All of this is in place. So on this side, we have all the tappets in. We have the cam bearings in, and you see there's a blob of assembly lube on each one of those. This is the other half of the center main bearings, and that's just sitting there waiting. So this is all ready basically to assemble to the other half of the crankcase. Don't want to do that exactly immediately. I'm going to go over just one more time and check everything and make sure that I'm not putting something together that I'm going to have to take this back apart again. We are pretty excited that all the right bearing sizes, and I ended up using the crankshaft out of the engine that was that had a rod knock. Luckily, it didn't harm. I talked about this, I think, in the earlier episodes. It didn't harm the crankshaft at all, so I was able to just buff it up a little bit and put this crank together. It's a good crank. I used the rods and the crank and the cam out of that particular engine. I used the rods out of my engine. Of course, all of this gets checked, measured to make sure that nothing's stretched or out around. So everything was good. Everything checked out nice. And I'd like to get this crankcase together by the end of the day. All right, before I get started this morning, just to show the progress from yesterday. It's all together. You can see it turns nice and freely. Everything is set in play wise. So we're today, I think I just mean me. But anyway, just going to hone these, get these roughed up a little bit, put new rings on these, and hopefully start stacking stuff onto this block. Cylinders, heads, of course pistons on the inside. Kind of need that. The next step is to see, these are kind of shiny. They're not old and they've measured out fine, but they need to be cleaned out inside and roughed up. It's called honing. Next step is going to be, and you can see I have the O-rings already there. That's the next thing, is I'm going to place the oil cooler on like so and bolt that down, and then continue on. The next step is going to be the intake, the alternator tower, fuel pump, all the other stuff. In fact, right now, if I wanted to, I could put the clutch in. The clutch is ready to install. The front pulley caused me an enormous, okay, let me rephrase that. I caused myself a bunch of issues because of the front pulley. I put it on too soon and it was really tight. So Chris and I had to remove it today so I can install this tin, and the oil pump is in down here. So we have an engine. Everything's ready to go. Just installing things. And I think hopefully garage night Tuesday.
They're painted gray. Is there a reason for that? Like, it matches nothing on the car. Is it just?
I liked it because it's clean looking. It's a German kind of color. They paint a lot of things this color. It's just a nice, brighter than black, cleaner, looking color. The engine bay came out so good with all this new insulation that I figured, like, why don't we put some brightness in there? We're in here cleaning Beetle parts. This is all the engine tin. This is the fuel for the project right here, and we have Fred and Mariah kicking butt on the. Look how nasty! Look, this is a mess. Just your average 50-year-old engine crud. I've been doing some pressure washing, and it's coming out. It's coming out cleaner. Still a lot of work to do in all these crevices. Massive dirt right there. It's starting to look like an engine, though, at least. So we're going to keep cleaning and keep progressing. I'd like to paint the engine tin by the end of the night, but we'll see. It's the next night. We have done a ton of cleaning and got a bunch of all the tin ready. The block, which was, if you remember last night, it was a ball of grease and dirt. So here it is today. Nice and clean. Look at that. Really nice. Found out today that this is an aftermarket block, but it's a very good block from what I've read, and it's all standard. Nothing's been bored out or anything like that. Some of the metal, that's some of the tin. Looks really nice. Coming along quite well. That's the actual doghouse, or the cooling duct where the fan goes. Really good condition. Here's the cam. Very nice. Next step is to finish cleaning all this, and I'm going to paint all the steel parts, all the metal parts, with this Rust-Oleum gray, just because it's cool. Maybe by next week we will have made enough progress that at least the engine will be going back together. So look forward to that. Pretty big step today. Got all this stuff, all the tin painted gray. Looks real nice. I think the gray is a nice German engine looking color. Came out real cool. The LED light's kind of full with it in here, but you can see for the most part how it came out, and totally happy with it. It's going to look nice and clean, kind of brighten up the engine bay.
Have any of these engines in these cars come with fuel injection? Are they all carbureted?
Believe it or not, this block was out of a fuel injected car. I'll show you one way to tell. It was a later model car. It had 8mm studs, and if you notice this piston, it's dished, which is low compression, emissions, and probably fuel injected. That's an indicator. But the fuel injected engines were in the Super Beetles, I think only. Maybe standard Beetles had it also in the later years.
You talked about Super Beetles with that hood up on the wall. What is a Super Beetle? What is the difference? A
Super Beetle is the same car essentially from the firewall back. The early ones actually had the same windshield. It was a flat windshield. Don't make me say the years, but it was around 72, I think, or 3, that they had the flat windshields. And then after that, the windshield was round. There was a bigger padded dash, and the front end of the car is lengthened about, 2 or 3 inches wider, and it has strut front suspension. So kind of
But why is that? Just
handling. It was actually a better car. People don't like them as much because of it's not a standard Beetle. It's not this simplistic early design. But truthfully, it is an upgrade. I mean, McPherson strut front end, that's a pretty good deal.
Usually I ask questions I know the answers to already, so you guys on camera can know it, but I didn't know that answer.
I barely know because I don't know much about the Super Beetle, except that the spare tire is flat instead of here. It's McPherson struts, it's a little wider, a little bit longer. I don't know years though, not exactly.
He mentioned there's garage night this Tuesday night, and the motor will probably go in before then or maybe that night.
Hopefully that night. It won't take long. I mean, once I have it back together, myself, Jeremy, and whoever else comes up, I think Fred might be here, Billy maybe, we'll get the engine in the car in literally no time.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have it started in a couple hours once we get it literally ready to push up into the car.
How many people do you think we can fit in the Beetle?
5 at least. Well,
Five at least.
Way more than that if we get in weird positions. But I know it's been done. There are records set.
Let's try to fill it up.
Yeah.
I'll try to be here, but I get the front seat.
Right.
The interior seems bigger than it does on the outside.
Yeah, they are bigger on the inside.
There is a bottle opener, but at least it's on the passenger side. So that's still legal, right?
It's only for sodas.
Sodas. Bottled sodas.
It's only for pop.
That's all we have to talk about today. Like I said, I will try to be here Tuesday night. If not, he'll get some footage and we'll talk about it, and we'll go for a ride in it in the next episode, right? You think so?
Yeah, and you know what we discussed today was a short conversation, but it was literally a day of stuff. Like, I was messing with this thing since probably, I think I started about 9. I stopped to eat a sandwich in the middle of that. The rest of the time was literally working on this.
Was it a sardine sandwich?
No, ham and cheese.
This dude eats spam, sardines.
Yeah, delicacies. What you're saying.
Jesus Christ, I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. All right, but until then, buckle up, put it in gear, and drive it.